Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel, Parth Doshi, Learning by Doing. So in this video, we are going to see one more very important concept in UiPath. That is what we are going to do is we are going to integrate UiPath form and SQL. So in the previous video of one of the video in this playlist, I have shown how can you insert the data into the SQL database from UiPath forms. But in this video, we are going to see how can you update the data in the SQL database from UiPath forms. So let me tell you what the problem statement is. So basically, for example, I am someone who has the access to this particular bot and I can update the employee details in the SQL database. So what I'm going to do is we will be having a one form which will ask us to enter the employee ID. On entering the employee ID, it will fetch the details from the database like employee ID, then first name, last name, and age. And we can edit that data. And once edited, after clicking on submit, the same updated data will be reflected in the SQL database. So we are going to see how we can create an SQL table, how we can add columns, how we can insert the data. Then we are going to connect our UiPath robot with SQL database, and then we are going to build the two forms and perform the operation. So I will suggest you to watch the video till the end and do with me on your system so that you can learn it very fast. So let's get started. Okay. So first, let me show you what are going to do, and then we'll see on how we can build it. So if you see, I have two project employee ID input and updating data form. So let me run the file. So we should be seeing our first form, which will ask us to enter the employee ID. Okay, it is taking some time to get executed, but yes, we have it over here. So this is basically our home page, enter employee ID 101, and I'm going to click on submit. On click of submit, it has taken the employee ID as an input and it is going to now fetch the data from the SQL database and display in other form. Okay, now I'm going to click on 25 and I'm going to click on submit. So you see the previous data input was 23 and now it is 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and this is my data table employee details, right? I'm just going to display the initial rows. If you see, it is now 25 over here. Before it was 23 as we saw in the UiPath form when the data was fetched from the SQL database. So this is what complete bot we are going to build in this video. So let's get started. Now the first form, as I said, is going to be taking the employee ID input, right? So before that, you need to install two packages. So you need to go to manage packages. In all packages, you need to search for UiPath.database activity, which will allow us to connect our database and perform the operations that we are doing. And the other one that you have to install is UiPath.form activities, which we are using to create this kind of dynamic form. Okay. So let's go ahead and design our first form, and always keep a notepad file open because you will have to save the field key, which will help you to access the data filled in the form outside the form. So let me click on open form designer, and I have already designed the form to save the time so that I can explain it well. Okay. Now this home page is basically a HTML content. So if you go to advanced, not HTML content, just this content. So if you drag this, right? Okay, yeah. So you can see, write whatever you want. You can give the styling as per you want. So I have just added a home page label. Employee ID, this is basically a number input that I'm taking. If you see over here, this is a number input. So let me click on settings. If you see, the label is employee ID, right? Placeholder I have given it as enter employee ID. Then In validation, I have selected required, so this input is always required. And the field key, as I said, we need to use this to access the data outside the form. So in home page, I have saved the employee ID. So this was very simple form. You see, we are only taking one input, and if you saw that I have resized the form to a small input page because I didn't want to display this much big size of form. So you see, when you click on preview, you can adjust the height and width over here. So I have used that and I have made it 300 by 300 pixels, as you can see over here. So in themes, you can add multiple themes, right? And this is how we have press OK. Yeah, we have successfully created, or you can say designed, our first form, which we are taking it as input. And now in employee ID, you need to go to form fields collection, right? And here you need to, okay, yeah. Here, if you see, I've used the same field key. Now, whenever you want to access the data filled in the form, you need to use that form key and you need to create a form collection of that. Okay, so I've created that. It is an out argument. Type is int32 and I'm saving it to a value. This is my local variable employee ID. So the value will be available over here. Okay, it is an argument. So yeah, we are using this employee ID. Now what we are, so this is the first workflow that we need to take the employee ID as an input. Right now, the second, if you see, I'm invoking another workflow over here where I am passing the employee ID, which I have received from the previous form. So let's see what I have done in that particular workflow. So you need to use the database activities more in this. So let me go to database. Okay. First, I'm initiating a connection. So I have to use connect activity. If you click on configure connection, and if you want to understand, in detail about SQL operations and all that with UiPath, I have a complete playlist on that. I will add the link in the description as well. So when I click on connection, if you click on connection wizard, you need to select Microsoft SQL Server. You need to give the name desktop. This is my system name 0R10DF. Windows authentication, and if you see, the learning is available over here. This is my database name. I will show that as well. See, learning is the database name, right? So let me click on OK, since I've already done that. And you need to store the connection in a connection variable so that you can use it for further operation when you are updating the data or performing any other operations. So now what I'm doing is I need to fetch the data of the employee ID that was entered. So I'm going to use a select query over here, and I'm only going to select where the employee ID is going to be equal to the employee ID that was entered over here. So if you see over here, I have just passed the existing connection. So the connection is already established. And if I click on edit query, okay, let me maximize it. If you see, select star from employee details, this is my table name where my column name employee ID is equals to my parameter @employee ID. Now @employee ID has the value. It is an in argument because I'm passing the value, and it has the value employee ID which I'm receiving from my previous form. Right. So this is how I have written a select query. So I will have, now what does this particular activity give us as an output? Let us see that. The execute query, if you see, executes a query on database and returns the query result in a data table. Now I will have my result. Now I will have my result in a data table which will consist of only one row, because the employee ID is going to be unique in the database and it is a pre-configured condition. So we need not worry about that. So we will have our output in the employee details DT, right? Then I'm using for each row because I want to pass each of the data into my form, into each of the individual and different fields. So I have 4 columns in the data table and in the database as well, and I will be having 4 fields in the form as well, out of which one will be disabled, that is employee ID, and the rest of that 3 will be enabled. So what I'm doing is I'm assigning the variables that particular value. Row of first name dot toString, last name dot toString, then age, I'm converting it to int32 toString, and then the employee ID, right? So this is how we have fetched all the values from the database that we want to display to the user. Now the updating part is left, which we will see now. So let me first show the design that we have created for this particular form. So again, the up one is the content as I showed in the previous form. Now if you see, the employee ID field is disabled because this is the unique value that we are taking to either select the data or update the data. So this cannot be changed, right? Now after that, that is the reason it is disabled. So if I go to settings, and again you will have that validation over here where you need to select required, and field key is going to be employee ID. So I have saved the field key for all the four fields: employee ID, first name and last name. So now if you see over here, I have selected the disabled checkbox. So this field is disabled. In the similar way, you need to create first name, last name, and age. So these two are the text field. As we can see from here, this text field I have used, and the last one is the number. So we have successfully created the form. Now in this case, in the previous case in employee ID, we had our collection to be an in argument, right? Sorry, out argument, because we were passing the data outside the form. But here we are going to pass inside the form as well, and we are going to take out as well to update that particular entry. So if I see over here, employee ID, first name, last name, and age. Now this are of in slash out, and which has the value of the variables that we have created. So once the variable has the default values that come from the database, and after in the out argument, they will be updated, right? So once that is updated, I'm writing a execute non-query that is used to insert, update, or write the delete statements in our UiPath so that we can perform the same operation in the SQL database. When I click on edit query, now if you see here, I have to pass four parameters. First is first name, last name, and the age. So if you see, this is the SQL query: update employee details table, set first name is equals to the first name parameter, last name as last name parameter, age as age parameter, where employee ID is equals to employee ID. Now if I go to parameters, we can see over here employee ID, first name, last name, and age. So this is the simple update query that we have written, and we are passing the parameters. Now, one of the best practices which I have repeated multiple times in my previous video as well, and I'm repeating here as well, always have a disconnect activity once your all the database operations are performed, right? So this is how we have successfully created the complete workflow. Now after this, I have to just invoke that in this particular workflow employee. So let's execute and see whether we have the same outcome what we had before. So let me put 101, and let me change my age back to 22, which is the real one. You see 25. Now if you see, this one is disabled as we have designed it: employee details, first name, last name. There can be multiple fields, but just for the demo purpose and understanding the concept, I have used limited number of fields. Submit. Now we'll further go ahead and check the database. Oh, and also I missed one thing in the video, so we'll cover that right now. So if you see, the age is updated back to 22. So we have successfully built a complete use case wherein we are learning many things, that is fetching the data from the SQL database, connecting the SQL database with UiPath. How can you update the database? How can you create multiple forms which are linked to each other? Now, the one part that I missed in the video is that how have I created the table? So the query for table is something like this: create table, employee details, IDs, identity, which will automatically get incremented. That is why I've written identity 1, 1. Employee ID not null, first name, last name, age. So this is how I have written the SQL query to create the table, and I had inserted some dummy data. As you can see over here, the dummy data was already present. We have only two rows, right? So I hope the complete concept of building multiple forms, linking the forms to each other, updating the data in the SQL database, and fetching the data everything is clear to you, and how can we can pass the data to UiPath form and take the output. Now, one challenge, or one practice problem that I would like to give you, if you have watched the video till the end and you have understood the complete problem statement. Now, if you see, I am entering an employee ID, right? Now I am entering the employee ID which I know is already present over here, right? 101 or 102. But what if I enter 103, which is not present in the database? So in that case, you should give the user three times, and a chance to create or input the particular employee ID. If it is increased more than three times, then you need to just simply stop the execution. But before that, so if I enter 103, now my workflow will fail and I will have the error that the entry is not present in the SQL table. But I want you to create a workflow in such a way that you can handle that particular situation or scenario as well. So you can do it in multiple ways. I will be adding the solution to this problem statement later as well. But before that, I want you all to try, and if you are able to successful, do post it on LinkedIn and tag me. You will find my profile ID in the description. So thank you for watching the complete video. Please do like and share the video if you found it helpful, and go ahead and complete this challenge and post it on LinkedIn. Thank you.